Tonight we got on Miss T Forton-Barnes. Stay tuned.
Talking Junk Network,
where entertainment lives.
Welcome to Talking Junk.
I'm your host, Jason Melendez.
Live now every week on Fridays.
Talking Junk.
A multitude of professionals in different aspects, different walks of life.
You have to come on and talk junk like a normal person.
Welcome to Talking Junk, the podcast that comes to you live every Friday night from YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. I'm your host, back again with a great guest. Tonight, our guest is a household toxins health specialist. So let me just bring her on and let's find out exactly what that is. Miss T, how are you tonight?
I am good. I was kind of, jogging to your music there.
How'd you going?
Had me going.
Gets the blood flowing.
I love it.
So how you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate it. And anytime I get a chance to talk about being a household toxin health expert, specialist, coach, whatever you want to call me, I love it.
How did you get into that field?
So I have a very interesting background. I born and raised in Buffalo, New York, where I still live today. And I grew up I'm 59 now, so I grew up in the 60s, 70s. And when I was growing up, all of the fast foods were coming onto the scenes, the Burger Kings, McDonald's, pizza, you name it. And everything, TV dinners and make everything quicker and faster. And my mother, our mom, I have three older sisters and younger brother, instilled in us that we needed to eat a healthy diet, organic food, and cleaning was something we did every Saturday, and we used vinegar and baking soda. So this is how I knew life to be in the 60s until I started growing up a little bit and got a little bit older and realized that we were the abnormal ones at that point in our lives. And I was being called the granola head. And then I went away to college in central New York, in Ithaca, New York, at Ithaca College. And I had a major in business, a minor in health, and I decided, and when I went to college, which you rarely go to college and figure out what you want to do when you go to college, but I wanted to open up a health food store. And I wanted to open up a health food store, a big supermarket, so everybody could understand how.
So like T's Whole Foods.
T Whole Foods, I like it. That's probably what I would have called it. But right now, you know it as Whole Foods. And I have nothing to do with Whole Foods, unfortunately. But that was my business plan, and that was my model. And I went to college to do that. I literally actually created my own major with a major in health, or major in business and a minor in health. And I came out a party planner. So I was planning parties. I'm all about planning parties.
How did that happen?
Go figure. But I tell my parents it's really was because they left me at home with a babysitter so many times when they were taking my sisters away to college and wherever they would go. And I was planning parties in the house all the time and begging the babysitter, to spend the money on beer and not food. So it's just who I am. And I plan, and everybody in Buffalo knows me as the party planner. And I've planned over 700 events here for 37 years. But during those 37 years, I have been helping people detox their homes, get rid of chemicals. I've studied, I've continued my education when it comes to environmental toxins and healthy living. So and then eventually what was happening, people that were getting sick and cancer patients, a lot of them would come to me and say, can you come and show me what in my house could potentially be causing cancer, or potentially causing cancer. So I was doing that on the side, and on the side is not even a business, just because I love to do it. But so then when I was 57, I am 59 now. When I was 57, I said, okay, 2020 is going to be my year. That's the year I want to transition into this new business that I really want to create. I wanted to create an online model where people could learn from me all over the world. So I'm still getting there, but through the course of it, pandemic hit. There were no more events, so I had no events to plan, and I had a lot of time to work on figuring out what I'm doing with my green living gurus, which is what I'm doing today. And then I have a product line called Tease Organics, which is a household toxin or household non-toxin cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, and room sprays, and then some other things will come along the way. But that's where I am today. It's kind of crazy. It's a route I've taken, and there we go, scrolling up my all-purpose cleaner. There it is, Tease Organics. We like to say it's healthy for you and your home. So, which many of the cleaning supplies out there are not healthy for you or your home. So that's 2022. Here I am, and happy where I am today, and still, moving ahead with everything that I've set out my entire life to do. And I'm on a mission to help as many people as possible avoid all these toxic chemicals that are surrounding our lives every single day.
Now, do you make and bottle your own stuff, or you're past that already?
Oh God, no. I have a company here called Bison Botanics that does it in Buffalo. They mix everything for me, bottle and ship it, everything. Yeah.
But it's your formula.
It's my formula. So what I was doing is, and all it is water, vinegar, organic essential oils that I was making for people and friends, gifts, you name it. And then they kept coming back to me like, oh my God, we need more. We're addicted to this. We have to have more. I can't clean with anything else. I'm like, I can't keep doing this in my, kitchen mixing. And I had this whole formula. So a friend of mine said, you really should look into bottling it and selling it, because it really is phenomenal. And so I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So that's how it happened. That's how a lot of products happen, that you make something and then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is great. So it's fabulous. I love it.
And it can't be a coincidence that you got the urge to do all of this right when the pandemic hit, because now people want these things way more than usual.
Yeah,
they need it. They need the cleaning stuff, and all natural purpose cleaners are definitely the new wave.
It is. I know a lot of people think they still need chemicals to kill viruses and kill bacteria, and it's unfortunately that's not the case, and it's also harming their health, and it's also hurting their immune system. These chemicals that they're spraying in their home and putting on their counters and using all around them. Unfortunately, these chemicals they're using potentially are really harming their kids' health and their own health. So, and essential oils have been around forever, and they have properties that are antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. So it's really, it's exciting. And I, just like as many people to know it as possible. So.
Now, what are some signs that you're already using some of the wrong chemicals in your house?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
What are some of the signs that you're already using the wrong chemicals in your house?
When you say what are the signs?
Yeah, because you said it could be making your family sick, taking a toll on your
Oh,
kids.
oh yeah, absolutely. So the chemicals that people are using in let's just take all-purpose sprays, whether it's 409 or Clorox or there's so many of them that um, they are cleaning with. And I have to be very careful what I say here because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or a company under the bus and get in trouble for it. But the they might be killing a bacteria or virus, but they also are potentially getting into your system and most likely get it into your system. And whether you're breathing them in or whether your kids are or you are touching any of those chemicals on your counter or even walking on the floor or babies crawling on floors or rugs and whatever you're cleaning with are entering your system. So the potential hazards of that are as little as allergies and up to some people have potentially. I've seen people that I've helped before when I get them off of some of the chemicals they're using, and not just cleaning supplies. A big one is laundry detergent, that they consistently have sniffles or they have minor sore throats.
The sniffles is definitely me. I have sniffles all day long, every day.
Really?
Really.
All right, so we've got to talk to you. Let's find out what laundry detergent you're using. That's
Okay.
one of the biggest things. That's everybody asks me, what's the number one thing you do when you come in somebody's home? Or and I don't have to come in someone's home. I do it a lot, most of it through Zoom calls like this. But the first thing I do, because I'm all about your indoor air quality. And I have an indoor air quality monitor that will monitor your levels of chemicals that are in your home. I keep one in the kitchen at all times. I have
You
one
also have those for sale on your website?
I do. And so laundry detergent is the first thing I look at, because you are sleeping in it, you are living in it every day, your clothes that you're wearing every day. The vents are pushing the fumes out into your home and also out into the outdoor air too, right? So we got to worry about our birds and bees too. But more importantly is what is going on in your home. And your indoor air in your home, according to the FDA, and is 2 to 5 times more polluted than the outdoor air due to the chemicals that we are all using in every product that we use in our home every single day. So
And here during the pandemic, we thought the safest place was our homes.
exactly. And the problem with all that is, especially with the pandemic, is that we're all home and then everybody thinks they need to like clean even more because the virus is everywhere and they've got to like spray more chemicals and spray Clorox here. And then you are in your home more, and it's sort of spiraled into even worse conditions. So the indoor air, my big focus when I help people is the indoor air quality, because you're in your house, whether pandemic, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, no matter what. And in your bedroom is one of the biggest areas that is most important, because obviously we spend a lot of time in our bedroom and sleeping. So
Would you recommend the air purifier or maybe a better grade air filter for your HVAC system?
So there's a lot of things that you can start small, things that don't cost any money at all. And it's opening your windows. Even I live in Buffalo, New York. I have a window even at a crack in the middle of winter in our bedroom at all times, just to bring in some fresh air. I don't care where you live. Bring in fresh air as much as possible into your home. Now, there's conditions there, because if you live near a thruway or highway or whatever, or you live near a factory, that outdoor air is not so great, unfortunately. So there's conditions there, but you're as much as possible bringing in some outdoor air. A lot of homes are made so tight, so no air can get into the house. I have a guy that I work with once in a while that comes into homes and kind of analyzes them. And he said sometimes he goes into homes and he feels like he's in a coffin because there's no airflow in people's homes. So you want airflow. You want some outdoor air. Just think about your house. You do not want everything sealed up so much. You need oxygen and air moving in your house. So that's an easy one.
So easy on the caulk and easy on the insulation.
Yes, absolutely. And another big one is cleaning. If you have ceiling fans, absolutely clean those ceiling fans a few times a year just to clean the dust off the top of them. That's one. Another one is your air conditioners. So if you have, I was at someone's house and they had air conditioners in the rooms. And whenever I see that, I automatically open those right up and look at the filters. They were caked with dust and dirt and grime, whatever. And they're so easy. You just pull out the little filter and you run them in the water and get rid of the dust on them. So if you
it doesn't make your system run good either. It makes your
horrible.
System run horrible.
Yep. Spends a lot more energy and you're not really getting clean air when you're air conditioners. And same with if it's a whole house unit, you really want to clean those filters. Actually, you have to replace those ones typically. So
if you're wondering why your light bill is $300, check your ACs.
Exactly. So simple little things like that. Take your shoes off when you come home. That's just a common thing that you should do automatically, because the pollutants that you can be bringing into your home on your shoes. So many people, unfortunately, still spray their lawns with pesticides. Your shoes pick those up. Eventually they can get in your home, getting the dust in your homes. So those are just little, and dust and vacuum as much as you possibly can, because dust can collect chemicals. So those are easy things to do that anybody can do. So then you move into the next level would be an air purifier. Absolutely. I'm all about air purifiers. I've tested people's air in their home with the indoor air quality monitor before, and then we bring in the air purifier, and it just night and day difference how much it helps bringing those toxins to a lower level in the house. So I'm all about that as well.
Now they have these things out now that purify the air with a laser, not just cycling the air.
Yeah.
Do you recommend those?
You know, Jason, I can't say one way or another. I'm on the fence with that, because I'd have to do some more research. I've seen some things about that. I wonder, I don't know. I know filters. I've studied some of the filters. The one filter that I personally love the most, and not because it's made here in Buffalo, New York. If it was made anywhere, I would.
Mick Foley would be proud. That's a great cheap shot. Mick Foley would be proud. Right here in Buffalo, New York.
Isn't that crazy? It's called Austin Air, and they are why I love them so much. And I've toured their facility. is because they are made 100% in Buffalo, so made in the USA. So the majority of air purifiers are made overseas, and they might say they're made here, but the parts are made typically in Asia.
Right.
And a lot of them are made with plastic. And I'm not a big fan of plastic, especially when it comes to using them in a unit like this and
Yeah, plastic
pushing out.
loads up too fast.
Exactly. So, and Elston Air does not have bells and whistles on it. It doesn't have all these different 3 settings, 1, 2, 3, boom, that's it. And you know what you're getting. So, and the filters are amazing. So,
Now, are they just single room units, or do they have whole house units?
They actually have the smaller units. I forgot the square footage. And then the larger units, they even stopped making, which I'm very sad about, the smaller units, because of the pandemic. They got so overwhelmed with the orders that they just are making the large ones now. And so they just have one size. They have a couple different models, but just one size. But it's everybody that I've sold them to, and of course, I sell them, and your guess, I give a discount on them as well. Anybody that comes to me, I give a discount. So, but they make a big difference. I'll tell you, when my husband and I put one in our bedroom, I was at the point where I had to tell my husband to go to another room. I couldn't take the snoring anymore. And although he tells me,
my wife would agree with you right about now.
Okay, so
14 years of snoring in her ear.
Let me tell you, he either doesn't snore anymore, or it's down to just like a purr. And in the middle of the night, sometimes I'll turn, during the day, sometimes I'll turn it off just because you can keep it on all day, and I do. Once in a while, I'll turn it off because for different reasons, but the windows open, I'm like, I don't need to filter the outdoor air, right? Anyway, so in the middle of the night, he'll be snoring. He's like, the air purifier's off. And I'm like, oh my God, we got to turn it on. I turn it on. It's just crazy how much it has helped his snoring reduce. And I called Austin Air on that, and they said, well, absolutely. We hear this all the time because you're filtering these. If you think about all those particles that are in the air that you are breathing in. And I mean, I always tell someone, like, when the sunlight shines in your kitchen or in your house and you see all those dust particles, that's what you're breathing in. So anyway, so it has helped tremendously with his snoring. I don't have to kick him anymore. I mean, I used to punch him all the time. So
I used to get punched and kicked too, so I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Now, what are the price range on some of these things?
So they're not cheap.
I think I found the website.
Yeah, austinair.com. They're not cheap. I do discount of, I think I do 15%, but if anybody comes to me from your any listeners here, I could do 20% off. So
now, what's the difference between a HealthMate Plus, and a bedroom machine? I'm guessing it's the size.
No, those are all the same size. And the juniors are the ones that are the smaller ones. And so the bedroom one has a more advanced filter. I tell everybody, you really just need the HealthMate. The ones that are the bedroom ones, that's if you have serious allergies, if you live in an area where you are potentially affected by smoke or fire, or if you live near like a highway and you have like bad air, those are the ones that we recommend. But if you're really, or if your immune system's really suffering or something, those are the bedroom one. They have like I forgot the the filter, another level of the filter that's on there. So otherwise, it's just the Health Mate that I recommend to people.
So they range anywhere from $700 to $1,000.
Yep.
Pretty penny, but well worth the money.
Absolutely. And the filter lasts 5 years. Yep.
Each filter lasts 5 years?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And they got different filters I see here.
Yeah, their filters are just, I mean, it's every air purifier, if anybody's looking for an air purifier, you really want to look at what the filter is. You don't want to look at what the air purifier is about. It's really what the filter is and what.
These are they look really great quality, these filters.
Yeah. If you look at some of the other companies out there that, there we go. They're the filters. They're pretty amazing. It's a great company. It really is. The owner, his wife was ill, and I believe she had cancer, if I remember correctly, many years ago. And he started looking at the air quality, and that's how he got into creating this business. And it started out small, and he's just done a phenomenal job at building this business. Yeah. So
it sounds like that's the cure for sleep apnea right there, is a nice air purifier.
I think so. I mean, I know somebody that wears whatever those masks are and the tubes that. I am a big believer in trying to start with what you are breathing in your bedroom. So your air, your sheets, the laundry detergent in your sheets, what's in your pillow. These are all things that can be affecting your breathing all night long. So
now, does it go hand in hand with eating right also?
Well, that's definitely an element, and anything else that you're putting on your body or in your body or around your body, because it's not necessarily just what you're putting in your mouth. Your skin is your largest organ, of course. So what else are you putting on you? Lotion, deodorant,
Do you also sell
shampoos.
lotions, deodorants, and shampoos?
Well, I have a store. I call it it's on my website. It's under shop. It's my healthy living store, but it's really a store on Amazon. And I have that store primarily it started when people were like, well, can you recommend a shampoo? Can you do this? And then I created this store on Amazon, and believe me, I think I make about $10 a year on it. Amazon pays you about a penny per item. And if you go, yeah, there they are. And really it started, and somebody would ask for, can you give me an idea for a bug spray? Can you give me an idea for dental floss? So I created this. I just kept opening up different categories. When somebody would ask me for something, I would go on. Somebody said, can you do just mascara? I think I even have a mascara. Anyway, so I created it so I would have it there. So I don't necessarily have a store, but I have a store on Amazon where people can go and buy items knowing that they are Green Living Guru approved, basically.
You ever thought about writing a book about all of this?
I have, and I had somebody approach me, and I'm in the works, very beginning in the works, and I'm not working with her or anything, but I've been thinking about it and wanting to do it, and down the road, I hope to.
A girl from Buffalo, one of her dreams has to be #1 bestseller in New York Times.
Listen, I love you, and I hope that will happen one of these days, because I am on a mission. My mission is really.
Well, it's already happened. It's just waiting for the book to come out.
Well, I need someone to help me write it.
I hear you. I feel the same way. There's so much up here that you want to get down, but your mind is always racing.
Right? I know. I try to focus. I do too many things at the same time. And I'm like, I've got to focus. I got to focus. I got to focus. I got to focus. So
And as soon as you try to focus on one thing, you forget about something else.
absolutely. Absolutely. I've got my hands in so many different things. I wear a lot of hats.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are you working on now besides trying to get this book done?
With my green living business,
With anything.
well, my green living business, so my product line, I even though I did not set out to have a product line, and they're right over my shoulder right there. That's my little family, mama, papa, and baby. That's the all-purpose cleaner, and then I have 3 different room sprays, and then it's all in glass, green or blue cobalt glass jars, and a refillable jar that, so we don't want you to throw anything away. It's all about recycling, reusing. And so this is my big thing, even though this was not even in my mission statement or my business plan, but that's really what I'm trying to grow. I also have a membership, VIP membership, where I will consult people with their trying to help them figure out where chemicals could be coming into their homes. I call it chemical confusion, because a lot of people are confused about, and they get overwhelmed. I've seen it so many times, and people then just ignore, like, oh my God, it's too much to deal with. And you look at ingredients on labels and like, you can't understand what they mean. So
yeah, it's very intimidating.
It's very intimidating, and it's scary. And I try to just get people to take a step back, and let's just start one step at a time at figuring out I start in the kitchen slowly. Let's look at some of the items you're using. What are you storing your food in? What are you cooking your food in? Because it's from top to bottom. There's so many areas where
what you're cooking your food in?
Absolutely. What pans are you using? Non-stick pans, depending on what you're using, potentially are very, very toxic and very unhealthy for you. And you are cooking your food with chemicals, basically. If you're using anything that's non-stick, you really have to look at what you are using. What does the pan look like? Are there any scratches on the pan? Those are things that you want to really pay attention to, because if you are cooking on a non-stick pan, you're potentially cooking your food in chemicals that are leaching into your food. So if you're using a non-stick pan and it has any scratches in the pan, you never want to use it again. I wouldn't even give it away. I would throw it away. What are you cooking in your food?
Well, you can't eat it in everyone's kitchen. TikTok has taught us that.
That's right. Exactly. You know what you make, Jason? You make small changes, one little step at a time. You know, what are you storing your food in? Specifically, anything hot. You never want to store it in plastic. You just have to realize anything your food touches.
So glass would be a better alternative.
Always glass. You know, if it's something cold, okay, that's fine. If you have to use plastic, but really you want to start using glass as much as possible, especially if it's acidic. So if you've ever used a glass or a plastic container and you put anything like tomato sauce in it,
and it stains.
That just shows you how much the food can that can get into the plastic, and that plastic's getting into your food too.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. And
every time I
never
looked at one of those bowls, I just knew I didn't want to use it for cereal.
Right, exactly. And you know what? Glass containers, they're cheap. You can buy, big set of them for $30 or something. They last forever. They're great. And
ceramic, the same thing?
Ceramic, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And if you do use plastic, just remember you never want plastic to get hot. You never want to microwave it. You never want a water bottle in your car and heating up in the heat. You never want to put anything hot in plastic. So just
Not
remember
even
that.
microwave safe plastic?
Never. No, absolutely not. Never microwave anything plastic. Absolutely.
That's good to know.
Yep. Those are just little tips, little things that people can remember because you potentially are eating the chemicals that are in the plastic. So
It's just little tidbits to remember before T's book comes out.
that's right. Exactly.
Little things to keep you chomping at the bit.
That's right.
Now, where can we find you? Is it just through your website?
Well, that's the easiest way, thegreenlivinggurus.com, because on there you will find my Instagram link, my LinkedIn, my Twitter, my Facebook. I have a blog on there. I have a podcast, Green Living with T, of course. And yeah, it's pretty extensive. I feel like that's the best way for people to go, and they can just see where they would like to reach out. And I'm accessible. If anybody has any questions, they can always send me a message, either email or Instagram. No matter what, somebody will get the message to me. So, and there I am. Green Living. There it is. Yeah,
You go hiding as it goes up, though.
I see that. Peekaboo. Yeah, so I have over 100 and so episodes, so there's a lot of great information on there. I really, my really niche is really helping families, parents, helping parents with children, and keeping these chemicals out of their homes, because my biggest thing is trying to help parents realize that the chemicals are affecting these kids so much that it's affecting their immune system. It's affecting their endocrine cycle and how they are producing hormones. And there's so much, and it's gotten so worse over the past couple decades that from people spraying their lawns with glyphosate, or spraying their products are being, or food is being sprayed with glyphosate or chemicals and herbicides and pesticides, and kids are eating this, and then kids are putting on lotion and shampoo and deodorants, and it spirals into so many different areas that the amount of chemicals that are being used these days is just out of control, really. Growing up in the 60s and 70s, my mother, thankfully, she knew this. I don't know how she knew this, but she knew it, and she kept us away from the chemicals.
There are no coincidences in life.
There are none. That's right. And then through the past 3 decades, 34 almost, as I said, I'm 59. I've just watched and seen how bad it's gotten in our food industry, and just what we are dealing with in cancer rates and obesity and diabetes. And so many of these illnesses have to do with the chemicals that we are ingesting and putting on our body every day. Do you know there's chemicals called obesogens? They're actually chemicals that are put in obesogens. Look that word up. They are chemicals that can contribute to obesity. So it's just the amount of chemicals in the United States. There are over 80,000 chemicals, and we in the United States, 11 have been banned. 11 in the United Kingdom, or not United Kingdom, European Union. They have banned over 1,300. The United States is so far behind when it comes to our policies when it comes to chemicals, and They yeah, there it is,
That's because they
obesity.
want us to be fat. They want us to gain all of these diseases.
Here
The
we go.
biggest thing here is the drug system. So as much illnesses as they can inflict, the more money they make.
100%. The pharmaceutical industry, it all goes back to that and the money that they pour into the industry. And when you go to your doctor, they are just prescribing you medicine to put a band-aid on what your illness is, as opposed to trying to figure out what is the root cause, what could be causing your illness, instead of giving you the 10 medicines that they've been trained for. To their defense, doctors have been trained less than 20 hours of all of their in their years of getting medical training in trying to in nutrition and trying to prevent illnesses. The pharmaceutical industries, they
They embed it in their brain that this is what they need.
and they also finance all the medical institutes. So, and I've talked to a lot of different doctors and physicians that finally this one functional medicine, she's like, I can't believe that I was trained to do this and give people medicine and not trained to try to figure out, why are you sick? We are trained to say, oh, here, take this medicine because that might help you with your, illness. So if when you step back and look at the whole big picture and realize what is happening, in our world when it comes to medicine, you start
Pull
to
that
realize,
veil
like,
back.
yeah, exactly. So
Are you vegan by chance?
I am not. I am not. I am O positive blood type and O positive. It's funny because at one point I wasn't a vegetarian, but I wasn't eating much meat. I was in college at that time, and I was really tired all the time. And I read the book Blood Type. Blood Type for Your Food. I forgot what it's called, but it's a book, and it talks about what I should be. I'm a carnivore. And all of a sudden, I went to the doctor. He said, "You don't have enough iron in your system. You are really iron deficient." And then I read the book. I'm like, "Oh boy!" And then I feel like I need my meat now. I don't eat a lot of meat. Um, I eat a lot of chicken, chicken and fish
So
primarily. But
not a
if
lot
I
of steak, huh?
no, but if I do anything, I do 99% of the time. I eat organic, no matter
That was
what
my
it is.
next question.
Absolutely, 100%. And I am very in our house. If I buy a chicken, not only do we eat the chicken, but then we take the bones and we boil the bones and we get the broth, and then we take anything off of that chicken, and we get the good meat for us, and then we get all the other meat and we give it to our dog. I make dog food, so
Nothing wasted.
nothing. Even with all the vegetables, every vegetable, we don't throw away any ends ever. I take anything off of anything, onion, carrots, the end of carrots, leeks, you name it. We take it all. We'll put it in the freezer. And then I have more things in my freezer of vegetables, but then we boil it and make broth. And that's how I make broth. So it's constant, we don't waste anything. I constantly,
Do you grow your own stuff too?
I live in the city of Buffalo, so we grow what we can, and I have a very, very small yard. And we love gardening, but we grow herbs and tomatoes, and sometimes we'll have a vegetable here or there. I do want to get a tower garden, one of these years I will get one. I actually even sell them on my website, but I don't even have one because I think they're fab. I know. I think they're fabulous. It's just I travel a lot, so it's hard for me to justify having one yet. Yeah, but they're great. I mean, you can grow vegetables all year long. You can even put these like in the basement, and they'll grow because of the lights that are on them. So,
I'm sorry.
that's all right. Yawning is good.
Maybe I need more iron in my diet. Now, we hope the next time we see you, you're going to be telling us that you came public with your dog food line.
Oh.
You're making your own line of soaps and shampoos, and the book is almost finished.
I love you, Jason. I wish I believe me. I think about these things every day. I want my next thing is a bug spray, which I've been working on. I have the whole recipe, so I'm just waiting for that. And I know it's not a household cleaner, but I'm all about bug sprays because there's so many toxic bug sprays out there. And I have a bug spray that works very well without putting chemicals all over your body. Laundry detergent is another one that I really want. I'm exploring
Do you have a
that.
recipe for that as well?
I do, sort of. I'm working on it. I can't say that I have the exact recipe yet, but
It's almost there.
It's almost there. Yeah, I just want to make sure I have it right. And then there's a couple other things that we're working on too. So, and the book, of course. I hope next time I talk to you, I have a book as well because that's like a big mission of mine.
Well, I hope so too, and we'll love to have you back on whenever you feel like you need to talk to another hard-headed audience, because my audience is hard-headed. They're going to listen to this and they're going to have their thoughts, but they're also going to go to your website. They're going to check you out.
Good. You know what? It's about making a small change here and there.
Right.
Some people,
Change doesn't always happen overnight.
It doesn't. You can't do it overnight. I do have some people that are like, oh my God, I want to change everything. Love it. I have no problem helping you with that. But that's really rare. You just make a small change here and there. If you have, if you're constantly suffering from a headache, sniffles, Jason, I would love to, help you. It could be what you're breathing in every day. I had somebody that thought it was allergies or pollen. She thought it was pollen. And so I went through her house and we changed out her laundry detergent. That was it. And she had no more sniffles. She's like, oh my God, I don't wake up with like sniffles the first thing I do in the morning, or I have a cough or phlegm. That's what these chemicals can do. They get, I mean, if you're sleeping in chemicals all night long and your pillowcase and your sheets, they're out, you are breathing them in no matter what. Dryer sheets are horrible, the chemicals that are in them. So if you can make one change in your everyday life, make it in your laundry detergent.
Now, which laundry detergent do you recommend? I don't see one on your list here.
Yep, nope, it's there. Molly Suds is one of my favorites. And the woman that made Molly Suds is her story. Her daughter Molly died of a stillbirth, and she was a nurse, and she went into all this research and realized how toxic laundry detergent was. So she created Molly Suds. Now, Molly Suds you have to order online. It's not at Walmart or at a supermarket. Yep, that's Molly Suds. But if you can't purchase Molly Suds for some reason, 7th Generation is okay too.
And that one I've seen in stores.
A Target has it. Everybody, you can find 7th Generation. There's just some ingredients in there that I don't agree with, but they're the best.
Alternative.
Yeah. So I do like seventh generation. Molly Suds is the best of the best. Let's put it that way. But the one thing that I will leave all your listeners with, the word fragrance. If you're buying anything with the word fragrance on it, so if shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, shaving cream, lotion, laundry detergent, the word fragrance is on so many different products. And there's a big battle right now going on about this in the United States because I sit in on different legislative sessions where they're fighting to get this changed. What happened in the 1940s, Chanel number 5 went to the government and said, we don't want to tell anybody what's in our perfume because it's a trade secret and everybody's going to copy Chanel number 5. So they didn't have to put anything on their label that said what's in Chanel number 5. So, but that was a law. So if you use the word fragrance on any product, it could be fragrance, perfume, anything. I could put the word fragrance on my all-purpose cleaner, my cleaners, and I could put 10 cancer-causing chemicals in my product. I don't have to tell you what's in there at all. So the word fragrance is in the healthy living industry is the other F word. You never want to buy anything with the word fragrance on it. That's the number one ingredient in anything that you purchase that you want to look at and focus on that word, because you're buying something and putting it in your system and putting it on your body that you have no idea what's in that product. And recently they've been finding benzene in shampoo, sunscreen, and deodorant. I believe there were the 3 things this last fall. And an independent lab found benzene. Benzene causes cancer, not potentially causes cancer. It causes cancer. Benzene is a known ingredient in fragrance. So this is just starting to sort of surface. And that law with the fragrance law is hopefully going to change. But you know how long that takes. The industry fights it.
Forever.
The chemical industry's fighting it. They don't want anybody to know. Could you imagine if the companies all of a sudden have to disclose what's in their products? Well, actually, Target.
Right. Could you?
Yeah, well, Target, I think in 2024, Target, I can't remember what it was, but I think Target said any product that they sell in their store has to disclose every ingredient, something like that. I forgot what it was. I saw an article a few months ago and I'm like, good for them. And others will follow. Kmart will follow. They'll all follow, because once people are starting to realize, it's the consumer starting to realize, like, I don't want to put things on my body. I want to know what we're using, we're disclosed to us, just like that they have to, the FDA makes you do it with food. Well, they're finally starting to realize, well, shit, we got to let the consumer know what you're putting on your body. So anything you're putting on your body is like you're eating it, because it's going into your system, period. So
right through your pores.
So that's my I'll leave you with that one. If you can, one thing that you can look at is fragrance, and Google it. Just look and see what I'm talking about, because people don't know. It's a really, really unfortunate thing for us as consumers.
Right. You want to know exactly what you're putting on your skin, because if not, then you can end up like, Sandra Bullock actually knew there were baby foreskins in her stuff. So
Yep. Sandra Bullock. That's right.
That was a bad comparison on my part, but thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate all the knowledge, and we can't wait for that person to come along and say, T, let's write that book.
I know.
It's going to happen.
I appreciate it. I love you for that, Jason. Thanks so much.
We love you back. Whenever you feel like you want to get away, I have a Saturday night show, and we play games, and we have our nightcaps, and we just get crazy. Whenever you're wanting to kick your feet back and have a good time, let me know. You're more than welcome to come on.
I'm always up for a good time. Believe me, I think that's part of being healthy too. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, healthy living. You got to be happy.
Healthy living. That's right. Absolutely be happy. No, absolutely be happy. Listen to music, have fun, do what you got to do, because that's the most important thing, is being happy.
Yes, it is. And the only way you're happy is if you're tuning in to Talking Junk. So make sure you tune
Absolutely.
in next Friday. You missed that this Friday or last Friday, go into the archives. Tomorrow night in the break room, we're going to be talking about Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. So stay tuned for that. But T, again, thank you very much for coming on. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
Anytime.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Absolutely. You can hold me to that. I'm game for it.
Sounds good. Make sure you go to thegreenlivinggurus.com. Show some love. Good night, everybody.